Speaking Part 3. Study. 1. What are the advantages and disadvantages of studying with other people? I think that if you have a study group or study buddies, you will be more motivated. In other words, you can give each other encouragement so that you would not give up. In addition, there would be someone who points out the mistakes that might otherwise go unnoticed if you study on your own. But when it comes to the disadvantages, I also believe that there are plenty. For one thing, there could be many conflicts as each person may have different viewpoints. Also, it is hard for you to stick to the schedule. Not everyone can make it on the same day. 2. Do most people like to study in a noisy place? Obviously, no. Actually, I believe that the majority of us would prefer to study in a quiet environment to be able to stay focused. 3. What are the benefits of gaining work experience while studying? I believe this is important in the sense that it can prepare you better for the workplace in the future. Also, it would definitely give you an advantage over other people when it comes to job applications. I mean, a person with relevant experience would be a priority for any organization as they can save a lot on training costs. 4. Do you prefer to study at home or study in other places? I don't know if it sounds weird to you or not, but I can never study at my house. I guess this is because it is too comfortable for me to stay focused on the task at hand. Instead, I often fall asleep or find myself checking my phone every, let's say, 10 minutes. So when I have an assignment to complete or a deadline to meet, I often go to the library or a coffee shop where I feel like someone is watching me, which gives me more motivation to study. I don't know what it is for others, but I just cannot study outside. I mean at libraries or coffee shops. For the former, the complete silence there is quite off-putting and a bit scary for me, while the latter is just too noisy for me to stay focused. So, the best bet is my own room where I can turn on some slow music, which can put me in a better mood for studying. 5. What's the difference between learning face-to-face with teachers and learning by yourself? These learning approaches differ in many ways. But I guess when you study with a teacher, you can save a lot of time. What I mean by that is if you ever have any questions, you can ask your teacher, who can give you an instant answer. In contrast, if you study on your own, it may be more time consuming for you to work out the answer to a problem because you may have to do research by yourself, and because you are still a student, this process could be quite long. 6. Do you like to learn on your own or with others? It's a bit embarrassing, but I have to say that I am not much of a team player. When I work in a team, I often find myself in a dilemma. I am too shy to raise my voice when I do not agree with others, but when things do not go my way, I tend to get a bit irritable and not so cooperative. So if possible, I always prefer to work on my own. Speaking Part 3. Dangerous sports. 1. Who is more interested in taking risks, the young or the old? From my viewpoint, it has nothing to do with age. Many old people are still willing to venture on something new, while many youngsters just prefer to play it safe, only doing things that they are certain about. 2. Why do some people enjoy dangerous sports? Well, from the way I see, extreme sports are just like other hobbies. I mean, some people like listening to music or going shopping. And there would be others who love the danger and thrill that adventure sports offer. They just derive great pleasure from these activities. 3. What kinds of sports are dangerous but exciting? Off the top of my head, I think about parachuting. I have never tried it before, but I think that the feeling of jumping off a helicopter and then managing to land safely is hazardous yet thrilling. 4. Why do some people like to watch risk-taking movies? I guess these movies provide them with some thrill, but in a safe way. What I mean by that is if a dangerous activity happens in a movie, it's highly likely that no one will be injured. And this gives viewers a sense of security that if they ever perform similar actions, they will also be safe and sound. 5. What risks should parents tell their children to avoid? There are so many risky things that children should not do. But right off the bat, I think about things like do not stay near the water if you cannot swim. Do not run the traffic light to avoid accidents. And most importantly, do not mix with bad friends and do not do drugs. 6. How should parents teach their children what a risk is? I think that the easiest way for parents to do so is to set an example for their children and explicitly tell them what risk they should avoid. For example, when parents stop at a traffic light, they should tell their children that this is a lawful and a right thing to do. And running the light is a risk that can cause serious consequences. Speaking Part 3. Communication and social skills. 1. Do you prefer to go out with a group of friends or just with a few close friends? I always believe that quality is more important than quantity. So I would definitely go for the latter option. When you are with the person who knows you the best, you are more likely to have quality or heart-to-heart conversations. 2. Does technology help people communicate better with others? Definitely yes. I mean, thanks to the advent of computers, tablets, as well as social networking sites, we can interact with people easier regardless of time and location. 3. Can talking with people improve social skills? Yes, of course. The more you talk, the faster the ideas come to you, which means the flow of the conversation will be smoother. On top of that, over time, you can pick up some subtle cues such as body language, eye contact, and even you may know how to read people based on their facial expressions. And I believe that these are crucial soft skills that could benefit you in the long term, no matter what field or area you will be working in. 4. Why don't some people like to socialize? It has a lot to do with their personality. I mean, some people are born introverts who prefer their own company, and being surrounded by people actually makes them uncomfortable. 5. How do people communicate with their friends? There are so many ways for people to interact with their friends. They can meet them in person, having face-to-face conversations. Alternatively, if they are too busy or if they live too far away from one another, they can turn to online platforms like Facebook or Zillow to send messages. 6. Why do people need friends? I consider this a universal truth that, to be honest, I cannot think of the reason why. But let me try. As far as I know, human beings are social creatures by nature. This means no matter how introverted you are, you always need companionship. And friends are the best companion who people can share everything with. And on top of that, throughout our history, we need alliances to survive. That's why I think we are hardwired to look for friends. Speaking Part 3. Role Model Celebrities. 1. Do people tend to choose the best people as their role model? For the most part, yes. We tend to admire the experts in some field or the most successful individuals. However, there are some cases people may want to emulate those of the same backgrounds, but make great improvements in life. They may not be the best individuals, but they are admired for their hard work and determination. 2. What kinds of people are likely to become famous? There are two types of people who I think of that can achieve fame. First is really talented individuals, and second is those who are ambitious and who are willing to do whatever it takes to become famous, even when it means exploiting people. 3. What qualities do famous people have? I think that it may vary from person to person and also from one field to another. But from my observation, those who want to rise to fame should be diligent, resilient, and ambitious. 4. Are there any differences between today's famous people and those of the past? There are many distinctions. For example, fame these days is more short lived. I mean, some people can shoot to fame overnight, but then are forgotten the next day. This is because they become famous not due to their talent or contribution, but through scandals. In addition, I think nowadays, famous people have a closer relationship with their fans thanks to the internet and the development of the entertainment industry. In contrast, back in the day, people can only see their idols on TV. 5. Is it important for children to have a role model? Definitely yes. I believe that in formative years of their life, a role model, a person children can look up to and emulate, is of critical importance. They would learn from this person how to talk, how to behave, and that sort of thing. So it is crucial that parents need to set good examples for their children and become a good role model for them in this stage of life. 6. What kinds of people are likely to be the role models for teenagers? This may vary from one adolescent to another. Many of them idolize celebrities, wanting to achieve the same status as these famous people. Others look up to and emulate their own parents or other living examples around them. Speaking Part 3. Fast food, vegetarians. 1. What kinds of fast food are popular in Vietnam? Off the top of my head, the most favorite fast food here in Vietnam is fried chicken, French fries, and hamburger. I mean, just like in other parts of the world. 2. Do people in your country like to learn to cook from TV programs? Some of them do, mostly middle-aged housewives, I guess. And for the majority of us, cooking shows nowadays are more of a reality show full of dramas, rather than a place where they can gain any culinary knowledge. 3. Do you think people's eating habits would change as they get older? Yes, I do believe that it is the case for the majority of people. I mean, as we get older, many physical changes will happen. Our digestive system or our teeth will become weaker, making it harder for us to eat certain foods. That's when we have to change our diets and also eating habits. 4. Should students learn to cook at school? I do not think that it should be included in the curriculum. I mean, in primary schools, children are too small and also physically weak to hold a pan, let alone learn to cook. And when it comes to secondary or high schools, the emphasis should be on academic subjects. Cooking skills, albeit important, should be learned at home or online courses if students wish to. 5. What do you think about vegetarians? I believe that they are really self-disciplined. Because human beings have been eating meat to survive for millions of years. Adopting a vegan lifestyle means that they have to give up something quite innate. So no matter what the reason behind this lifestyle is, health reasons or ethical reasons, I really admire these people. 6. Are there any people who wouldn't eat meat for their whole lives? I don't think so. I mean, there would be some exceptions, but they're few and far between. As I said earlier, people often go for a plant based or vegan diet for health or ethical reasons, which are more likely to appear later in life when they are more aware of themselves and the world. When they are small, they still need meat as a source of protein for their physical development. Speaking Part 3. Videos. 1. Why are so many young people obsessed with short videos? Let me think about it. I think in this fast paced world, people think that speed is synonymous with productivity. What I mean by that is when watching short videos, people may have a sense that they can consume and digest information more quickly and more efficiently. 2. Do you think people spend too much time watching short videos? Why? Yes. In this digital age, when people always seem to be in a hurry, short videos have become a new norm when it comes to consuming news and information online as well as a form of entertainment. I feel like these days people are not patient enough to watch a video that lasts longer than 2 minutes. Platforms like TikTok are to blame for this. 3. Are there many people who watch online videos a lot? Yes. I do not know the exact number, but from my observation, people of all ages these days spend an excessive amount of time on short videos on social networking sites. Some of them are even addicted and cannot be separated from their phone even for a short while. 4. What kinds of videos are most popular in your country? There are two types of videos that I can think of right now. One is short news videos where all the news about the current affairs will be summarized for viewers, and the other type is dancing videos, which are really amusing. Speaking Part 3. Economics, shopping. 1. Can consumption drive economic growth? Definitely yes. I believe that consumption is the main driver of economic development. Only when people buy goods and services can industries such as manufacturing, transport, and the like expand their operation, which has far reaching impacts across various sectors like agriculture, transportation, and retailing. 2. What are the advantages and disadvantages of shopping online? Let's talk about the benefits first. I think that the biggest one is convenience. You do not need to go out and travel long distances or switch from one physical store to another just to buy an item. Instead, you can shop at the comfort of your home. Regarding the downside, I think that shopping online means that you do not know the real quality of the product. And even when you read the customer reviews carefully, chances are that you will buy things that are of low quality or just don't suit you. 3. What are the differences between online shopping and in store shopping? I think that they differ in many ways, but the most significant distinction lies in the experience. I mean, when you shop at a brick and mortar store, you have to go there, have a face to face conversation with the shop assistant. You also have a chance to touch and try on the item before making the decision. In contrast, in the case of online shopping, none of these things happen. You'll chat with the seller through an online platform and you can just see the product and imagine how you would look in, let's say, a dress or a skirt. 4. Why do some people not like shopping in small shops? Off the top of my head, I think that they do not like to shop in a small space where they may have to compete for, let's say, changing room or fitting room. Or in some cases, they have to share this room with others, which can be awkward. 5. What are the advantages and disadvantages of shopping in small shops? I think that the perk of shopping in a small shop is that you do not have to be on the go all the time to find the item. I mean, everything could be in within your reach. And when it comes to the drawbacks, unfortunately, there are plenty. First, as I mentioned earlier, there may not be enough space for customer to try on the clothes, which can be annoying. And for the most part, the range of products in a small store is often limited. 6. Why are shopping malls so popular in Vietnam? I believe that this is because our shopping demand is increasing. I mean, for the past several years, the economic growth of Vietnam has been significant, leading to a higher income. This means, besides the basic needs, people can have spare money to spend on other consumer goods to increase their quality of life.